Welcome to third lecture in the third chapter of our comprehensive course on machine learning, data science, and artificial intelligence. Now, here we want to discuss about dictionaries. We are talking about collections in Python, and we have so far talked about lists and tuples. Now, in this lecture, we want to talk about dictionaries. Now, this dictionary in Python language are given by this kind of standard way of writing. That dictionary name can be anything here, but is equal to curly braces are compulsory, and inside curly braces this kind of structure is compulsory. That is, each element is not a single element, but each element is a pair of key and value, and key must be put in quotes. It must be immutable, and it must follow a colon symbol. Value can be a mutable, any mutable type, and it can be string or it can be anything. If it is a string, then you have to put it in quote. But here, for example, next key, then the key is put in quotes, but value is number, so then you don't need to put it in quote. Even for key also, this key is here written as 1, then there is no need to put the quote. So you are using number as a key, and then you are putting the colon sign, and you are using some string as a value. Okay, so this is such a collection of comma separated key value pairs that is called dictionary, and each key value pair, that is called an item in the dictionary. So this is the item number 1, maybe indexed at 0, that is another matter, but this is first item, this is second item, and this is third item. Okay, and inside each item, if you want to access individual things, that is what is key, then you have to write item and then dot key, or item and then dot value. Okay, so that is how individual elements are accessed, and dictionary are very powerful. I would say that without this dictionary, any advanced Python program could not have been written. Okay, so they are very powerful, and dictionaries are unordered up to Python 3.6. However, nowadays it is an old story because we are already in Python 3.13. So officially, after Python 3.7 plus, dictionaries were made ordered data structure. And the meaning of order, I told you that it does not mean that elements are arranged in ascending descending order or something like that. Ordered means that once you access this element dog by using the key D, then after few lines in your code, as long as that dictionary exists during the entire life cycle of dictionary, the dog value must be accessed by same key. So that means accessing of individual elements is in some predefined order, or it is predictable, and it does not keep on changing. Otherwise, it would raise issues, because initially at the beginning of your script you are accessing 20 using key E, but suppose after some time some dictionary would be defined such that, and before 3.7 they were defined like that. So then that these elements would change their key. So in that case, what would happen, that now after a few lines or 10 lines in the script, now if I want to access 20, then I will have to use some other key than E. So that is not done. Okay, and that is why I said that keys are always immutable for a dictionary. Okay, now these are certain operations which are available for a dictionary, but again there is no need to remember what operations are available. Instead, suppose I can add one cell here, and here I define one dictionary, and then suppose first let me execute. So my dictionary is already created. Now I write my underscore dict, and sorry, that's upper case, my underscore dict, and then I put a dot, and then I press tab, and you can see all the methods whichever are available, they are visible here. Clear, copy, from keys, get items, keys, pop items, set default update. These are the same methods which are here. So there is no need to remember most of the things in programming. You just need to know how you can access them. So these are various methods. And even what that method do, that also I have already explained, that my underscore dict, and suppose I want to know what the pop method does, then if I want to use pop method, then I will have to use pop method, and then in parenthesis I have to specify what I want to pop. But if I want to just know about pop method, then parenthesis is not required. Put a question mark and execute, and you will get what this pop method does. It removes the specified key. So that means it is clear that in the parenthesis you will specify these keys, name or age or city. You will not specify values with pop method, and returns the corresponding value. If the key is not found, suppose I write here pop, and then say name, age and city are there, so I write surname. So in that case surname is not there in 3 keys. So then in that case the pop method will throw an error. Okay, so it raises then key error. There is a provision to give some default value, that if you can't find, then give some default value. just for the sake of some user friendly error that could not find or something instead of that red color. Okay, so this is how you can find not only what methods are available but also how to find help on each method. Okay, let me remove this now. So there is, a diagram is useful, but there is no need to remember it. That is what I am saying. Now here, adding and modifying entries, that can be done by update method. You can also do that by accessing the key, or you can do it by using update method. If you want to delete entries, then you can use three different methods: del, delete, pop, and pop items. Okay, with pop you have to specify key, and with pop item you have to specify the value what exactly you want to pop. And then if you want to access individual elements from a dictionary, then either you use keys or use some method like get. If you want to iterate over the dictionary, that is using some for loops or something, then you can iterate using keys. You can also iterate using values, or you can also iterate using key value pairs. So that is what makes dictionary so powerful. Try to understand dictionary as much as possible, because dictionaries are very important. Now here, let us try a very simple dictionary. So this is first dictionary. This is its key, string, so quotes are required. This is its value. This is here key of next element. This is the value of next element. This is the key of next element, and this is the value of next element. So key value pairs are there. This is item 0, this is item 1, and this is item 2. Okay, and I print it. So exactly same replica will be printed. Now if I want to add a new key value pair, this is actually a one individual's record that his name is John, his age is 30, and he lives in New York City. Now if I want to add something that what is his email ID, so then I just have to write like this: my dict, in parenthesis I will write something that will go here as a key, new key, like this is the key, or this is the key, or this is the key. So similarly, this email will go as a key, that is before the colon symbol, and this will go as a value, that is after the colon symbol. Let us print, and you can see that fourth element, or with index 3, that is update. Update any individual element. For example, here this John has age 30, but John comes complaining that my age is 31 and you have made a mistake. So easily you can update by mydict.update, and you can specify that entire key value pair as a small dictionary, because these are curly braces. So when you specify, that small dictionary will replace this key value pair. Okay, let us see. And now age has become 31. So you must remember this, as a small dictionary means this new key value pair which you want to specify, that should be put in braces. Accessing some data. Okay, so if I have already added the email. Now if I want to find what is the email from a dictionary, suppose someone else has created that dictionary and you don't know what is the email ID of John, but you at least know that email has been stored inside. So you can write the key. Remember, I want to access the value, but I am accessing it using the key. This is what I want to get as a result, but that you cannot search directly in the dictionary. You can access it using the key. Okay, that means I want to find email, but instead of finding email, I will give the key email. Okay, and you can see that when I specify the key, corresponding value will be generated. If I specify another key, say age, then age will be accessed, 31. If I specify, say name, then name will be accessed. So accessing the values stored in a dictionary is done by using the corresponding key. Remember this is important. Let me make this like earlier. Now removing the items. So if I want to remove the item, then I can use pop. And with pop also, you have to specify not the item which you want to remove, but age. So that means here, for example, age is 31. So you will not say that pop 31. You will say that pop age. Okay. So whatever you want to remove, you have to specify its key. Let us print that, and you can see that now that entire key value pair is removed. So now this whole thing is removed. If you want to insert that again, then we have seen earlier that you can use this command update. Updating the dictionary means inserting the new element inside the dictionary, and that whatever key value pair was removed, you have to provide that key value pair as a small mini dictionary, and you can update it. Okay. Now completely remove the cd key and the its value also. Okay. So in that case, I can just write this way: my dict, and then in square bracket. In other cases, different parentheses were there. Here, for example, get method uses parentheses, pop method uses ordinary parentheses, but this method, del method, that uses square bracket, and that means actually you are specifying in normal list you specify index or something to to locate the item, but in a dictionary you cannot locate anything without knowing its key. So keys are most important thing. So you are specifying that del item which is located at this key, and when you delete it, then whole key and value both are deleted. So this whole thing, city New York, is deleted. Okay. Now, if you want to iterate over items, now my list has only two elements. So you can iterate using key also, or only key, or using value also, or you can iterate using key value pair also. But this is normally more used because of the reason that most of the time we will like to know both key and value. But that is not a rule. You can also iterate using key. So for key value, key comma value in my dict dot items. When I write items, this was the very first diagram. That means I am looking this, then I am looking this, then I am looking this. These are items. So I am looking actually various key value pairs only. So for key value in my dict dot items print, then I will print it in the same method, and I am using f string. So f string. So the variable should be put in a braces key colon value. That is also variable, and that should be put in another. So what this will print? This will print first this key and its value. Then it will again iterate, and it will print this key and its value. Because, and how long it will go on iterating? As long as there are items in this dictionary. Okay. So here there are only two items, so it will print them: name John, email john@example.com. Okay. So this thing is important about dictionary. How to create and modify dictionary. Then dictionary is initialized with some data and then updated by adding or modifying entry. We have seen how adding can be done by update, how modification can be done by also update, and how removal of item can be done by either pop or pop item, like that. How to access individual values? Then you can use the get method. In the get method, you have to provide a key and you will get the value. How to remove individual items? Then you can use either pop or pop item or something like that. And how to iterate through this dictionary? Then using either only key or only value or key value as a pair. For example, here we have used the key value pairs. Key value pair is nothing but item. We call it item in the dictionary. So for all items in the dictionary, or for all key value pairs in the dictionary, print key and value. So there are two items, and therefore it has printed name John and email john@example.com. Okay. Now here we access the individual elements by using key value pair. But you can try also by accessing individual elements using only key. So here you have to specify the format by using f string. Okay. But here you can get this kind of format. Let me first clear cell output, and let me clear this cell output first. So for key in my dict.items. Now important point to note is that here it is not my dict.keys still. This part remains the same. So Python automatically will, here you are adding key value in my dict.items. So it will automatically find keys and values from items, which are nothing but, each item is nothing but key value pair. Similarly here Python will only find keys from each item. So from key and print that key. Okay. So if you print it, it does not only print key, but it also prints value. But output format you can see has changed. Here it is producing the format which you want. Here it is by default producing the two key and the value in the form of two different parentheses. Okay, fine. And here you can also iterate through the dictionary using its value. So in that case, for value in my dict.items, again there is no need of my dict.values. Okay, so this part remains the same for all three cases. But for value in my dict.items, print value, and then you will see that it does not only print values John and the email of John, but it also prints the corresponding keys. So that is why I said that there is not much of a difference between the two. It is your choice that whether you want to access individual elements using key or value or key value both. But the problem would come here. I just want to print this and I can see the output in Jupyter. But problem would come if you want to access programmatically how to find this thing. Okay. So at that time you should remember, still you can find programmatically access each key separately, each value separately in all three different manners. But you have to remember at that time what is the format. This format is what you can define. While this format here it is written as a tuple, here also it is written as a tuple, and same way here and here. Okay, so that is one thing. Now explanation I have already given, so there is no need of that now. Now using dictionary with functions. So for example, this is a case. Let me put one line here. This is that function store user info, and this asterisk quad is given. So that means this will take keyword arguments. But how many keyword arguments? That any number of keyword arguments. So arbitrary number of keywords argument, and it will just return that keywords argument whatever is passed due to it. Okay. Now who will pass it? Then anything where this function is called. So that function is called somewhere here, store user info, and it is called with what arguments? Then any number of arguments can be passed. So here I am passing three arguments: name is equal to this, age is equal to this, and city equals this. You can see that when I am passing the values, they are just a comma separated list, and in between I am passing assignment operator or equal to operator. Okay, so I am assigning value Jen to this name, value 28 to this age, and value Los Angeles to this city. But when I will store them using by taking all these three arguments and passing them to this function, and then when it returns, it will return them as a dictionary, and that you can see by storing the return value, whatever the function returns, that is stored in this variable user underscore profile, and then you can print it. Okay, so try it and you will get this kind of output. Now that means this is very handy. So whenever multiple things are to be stored in your database, then dictionary is the preferred data structure, and you can make your dictionary as long as possible. Just keep on supplying name value, that means key value, comma separated list. But remember, there is no colon which you have to provide. You have to just write ordinary assignment operator. Dictionary, when it is stored, it is automatically, it will make that colon on its own. Okay, so here this colon is automatically created. Fine. Then here also I will put one line. Now this is profile is created, so I define another function, update profile, and it takes two arguments. One, it takes the profile which you want to update, and second, it takes arbitrary number of keywords argument. Okay, who will pass these two values? Wherever they are called, there these values will be present. So where this function is called, where it is called, let us find. Here it is called. Okay, so here it is called, and user profile which you created in the previous cell, that user profile is getting passed, and you are adding some more quirks. One is job equals engineer and age equals 29. So that means this is just getting added, because here there is no such job key. Okay, but here this is just getting updated. But even updating or adding anything, both can be handled by this function update profile. Okay, so I'm calling that function and supplying this value. First I'm supplying my existing profile. This is my existing profile internally. This is how it is stored, and I supply these two comma separated arguments also. So then it goes inside, and for key or value in quarks.items, we know this is how we iterate. Profile square bracket key, because when you want to access individual elements, if it is list or tuple, then you specify the index 0, 1, 2, 3. But here you specify the key. In dictionary, you have to specify the key to access one element. Okay, so profile key equals value. Okay. So that means travel through all elements. So first it will go here, name colon Jen, and it will assign profile key equals value, provided that key name is present in the argument which I am passing. But it is not present. Only job and age are present. So name will not be changed. It will remain same. Then age. So it will do profile its age. That is, it will use the age key, but it will assign the value which I am passing. And now I am passing 29. So this 28 would change to 29. And then this thing also will be done, because here I am passing key value pair. So that is why in this kind of case, when you want to add a new element, it is always better to use both key and value together. Okay. So then profile key equals value. So instead of key, job will be done. Job will be put, and instead of value, engineer would be put. So a new member would be added in this dictionary, and this age will change from 28 to 29. Okay. Let me just remove this spoiler output and just yeah, you can see that is how it has happened. Okay. Fine. But one thing which is very important for dictionary is that any manipulation of dictionary is not done by index. For list and tuple, you can do by index. In fact, for tuple, manipulation itself is not possible. It is immutable. But for list, you can do by index. But for dictionary, any manipulation or accessing individual elements or trying to do anything with a dictionary is always done by specifying key or specifying value or specifying key value pair. Okay. That you have to remember. Then key is the most important thing. That's why it is say that it is key. So key is the key thing in dictionary. Then this is the explanation which I have already done. Now practical use case. So dictionaries are used for storing complex data objects where object can have named field. Like for example, records in a database. What is the meaning of that word record in a database? So this was that database which we had done in earlier one lecture, where date was split into one part. then this much is called one record, this much is called another record. So you can see that one record can have so many different elements. So the question is how to do. Then you can put a dictionary where its key will be, let me, yes, its key will be day, and its value will be, and the day will be put in quotes of course, and that value will be whatever value is stored here. Then comma, then another will be month, again in single quote or double quote, but it is a key which is in the string format. Then put a colon, and then put value, which whatever value is there in this record. So one dictionary would create first record. Then you can create second dictionary, which would create second record, and so on. Or you can even create nested dictionary for records. So any complicated data set can be represented by a dictionary. Then for implementing associative group arrays, so dictionaries are used to implement associative arrays where each key is associated with value. Sometimes such scenarios are important. For example, if you want to display number of occurrences of words in text. Again, in NLP, this is often required. Suppose you are given a large paragraph of say 1,000 words, and you are asked that find each word and also say how many times that word occurs in that whole paragraph. So most common words in every English paragraph are, say for example, is, was. So then how many times is appears? So you can express it in this manner: is colon say 33 times. Then you can express how many times are occurs. Then R occurs colon maybe 20 times, like that. Now such analysis is done, for example, during the election, various candidates give their speech. So depending upon how many times they have uttered one word, people do analysis. For a finance minister gives his speech on the day of budget, then immediately this will be, such analysis will be done. The GST word rate, that word was spoken 33 times, but IT slab, that word was spoken only 2 times. So then such analysis is done by algorithm, and immediately it is inferred that the budget is putting more emphasis on changing this GST or something, but it is having, the finance minister has a inclination of keeping IT related, income tax related things more or less unchanged. Okay, so for such analysis, first you have to represent the data in this manner, that this word has occurred this many times, this word, and dictionaries are the best for that. Okay, in next lecture we would be doing sets. So bye, thank you.